I don't know, if home is Leeds or home is Newcastle, like it's gonna be expensive.
Like if you haven't got Waitrose money, don't go to
Waitrose. I wouldn't be happy. Are you joking?
Yeah. If you want to live in a dungeon in London, that concept was foreign to me.
If there's money to be given, you want to be taken.
Exactly.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Imogen. I am a third year Geography with German student at the London School of Economics. And today, you might notice the background's a little bit different because I'm very excited to be filming with Alicia. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. So my name is Alicia. I'm also a YouTuber at LSE and I'm a second year in politics and economics.
I finally found someone else who does YouTube at LSE. I know, crazy. So today we are going to be talking all about how much it actually costs to study in London, because I know a lot of home students and international students are put off by the cost of university, particularly in a very expensive city like London. First things first, let's talk about tuition fees, because I know there's a lot of information floating around about scholarships, bursaries, loans, all these sorts of things that you need to get sorted. And actually, how expensive is university?
So for us, it's 9k. I feel like that's universal across the UK, which is different because in America, I mean, it varies from uni to uni, the tuition fees, unless you're an international student, obviously, which is really expensive.
I think it's about 20 something, 21,000 a year.
Near to 30.
Yeah, for an undergraduate student that is. Masters is completely different.
But what I will say on this point about tuition fees, LSE has a lot of money to give. I'm on a scholarship that's worth 70k over the 3 years, which is almost unheard of in the UK. It's massive.
Crazy.
I don't have much of a debt when I leave university. That concept was foreign to me. I thought that I would come out of uni with a massive debt, but actually it's not that bad at all.
However, on the other hand, I will come out of uni with a massive debt. So I have a student loan from the government, so they pay all of my tuition fees now, but then incrementally over my lifetime, I will need to pay that back. So I think a lot of people describe this almost as like a graduate tax.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Yeah, like you have this kind of extra tax. Well, it's not a tax, but like you have to pay back your student loan. So it's called a student loan repayment. And when you earn over a certain threshold, and they change this from year to year, you will have to pay a small percentage of your earnings back. So if you're due to be earning, I don't know, 100k a year, you're going to be paying back quite a lot.
And the interest doesn't even start when you graduate. It starts from now, like already over the past year, mine has accrued like £230 in interest.
So I think in terms of student loan, it's just being aware of what you're getting yourself in for, because a lot of people will never pay it off, but it will be something that is going to be on your pay slips when you're older. And I think if you're planning on going to university, don't let it put you off now, but definitely like consider the fact that it's not free.
Exactly. And apply for scholarships and bursaries.
Yeah. If you're eligible, do it. Yeah. If there's money to be given, you want to be taken.
Exactly. Like, just please apply. I know it's a long application, but it's worth it.
The next category, and this is probably going to be your biggest expense when you actually move to London, is accommodation. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's not cheap, and it's got a lot worse this year. So last year when I was at Bankside House, which is on the expensive end of the LSE accommodations, to be fair. It's not as expensive as like Urban S, but it is quite expensive. And I'm pretty sure that was about £259 per week, something like that. Whoa! I didn't realise it was so expensive.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that's because I had one of the big rooms, but as well it included catering. But that's really expensive. If you're going out of London, I know people that were paying like £120 per week. Like,
I had friends at like 110.
That's not even possible here. Like, even if you want to live in a dungeon in London, I don't even think you'll get it for £150.
Yeah. The minimum, I think, if you're living in private housing this year, the minimum I've heard is like 170, 180, and they are living quite far out. They do have a nice house, but it's just quite far out and it's not ideal location wise. But like if you're living relatively near to LSE, you're looking at £250 a week plus. And that's for private accommodations. You're paying 52 weeks a year. Because the pro of Bankside, right? We moved out in the holidays, which if you're a London-based student or a home student, that's ideal. because then you don't pay that extra 8 weeks of rent, and it saves you so much money.
What I will say is, I still think that it's worth it going into a halls in first year, and I'm not sure if it's worth it for the whole 3 years, but for first year, like, I made a lot of friends in halls. But then the good thing about London is that in the second and third years, you can actually move out with friends, which is what I'm doing this year. So I'm a little bit further out, but because I'm living with friends as well, it's allowed me to split costs. So I'm on 239, but because I'm sharing, it's whatever that is, maybe like 100 and something per week. And as long as you're next to a tube station, it's honestly not that deep.
Even if you're in an LSE halls, you're going to be commuting, and the walk, we were saying, from Bankside was actually, as long as you're now doing on the tube. But I guess then you've got the tube cost. So that's the kind of con of living slightly further out. I lived in halls in my first and second year, and I shared rooms both years, which is a really good tip if you want to keep costs low. And also I made friends doing it that way. Obviously you do have like less privacy and stuff, but I mean, it comes with the territory, you know. Now I've chosen to live at home because I didn't fancy trying to deal with the London property market. And halls in third year was just not feeling like a vibe for me. So yeah, I moved home. So my accommodation costs are zero because very nicely my parents do not ask me for rent. So linked to that, you've got to get from your accommodation to university. So the next category that we want to talk about is transport. How expensive is it getting the tube? Because you're a tube distance away now from uni.
Exactly.
How expensive is that every day?
So I'm from zone 4, and obviously our university is zone 1. So how it works in London is the more zones you're travelling across, the more expensive your journey is going to be. At the start of the year, when I did have a rail card, I was seeing like £9 a day taken out. And
are you joking?
Yeah. On that point, I'd recommend getting a rail card or like a student Oyster card. I've got a rail card connected to my Oyster card. Literally today, I only spent like £5 coming in, which is actually really good.
That's
£5 there, and including coming back as well. £5 for the day. So I think with the rail card, you save about 25 to 30%.
A third off, it's a third off, but only on off-peak times.
Off-peak, so remember that.
But if you're a uni student, chances are you're not going to be going in at peak times. Although,
unless you have a 9 AM.
Saying that, I travel from Essex, where I live, every day, and the train costs me £21.50 return if I'm going in on peak. And every day that I go in this year, I'm actually going in on peak, but I only go in 3 days a week. So my transport costs are roughly £60 a week, which obviously in comparison to the rent I would have been paying, which would have been at least £220, I reckon, a week in London. That is a massive saving.
I'm spending about £20 to £25 maximum on travel a week.
So we talked about how you're going to lose money, but the next category is how you're going to gain some money. It is possible to have a job whilst you're at university.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. You have jobs?
Yeah, so jobs. Plural. So for the whole of first year, I worked with a charity called DebateMate. If you haven't heard of them, they're basically an educational charity, and it means that I work with young people. So it's similar to tutoring, but a little bit more fun, to be honest. That pays really well. Like, it pays £20 an hour.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Like, that's actually amazing. And the thing with DebateMate as well is like they work around your uni schedule, so
that's so good.
Yeah, it's a bit like the LSE jobs, like you're getting paid high and they care about your uni schedule, whereas before coming to university, I used to work for H&M for like 2 years.
In retail.
So I was getting £7 to £8 an hour, and the work is so much more difficult. I'm also an LSE content creator now as well.
Stop it, me too.
So and LSE pays well, don't
they do. They pay £14 an hour.
£14.
And how many hours a week do you do for DebateMate?
Not a lot. So last year I did about 4 to 5. And now this year I'm literally cutting down to 1 or 2. It is possible to work whilst you're at uni, but obviously as the years go on, second, third year, it's more intense. So
yeah, for sure.
A bit of a trade-off.
I've had various different jobs whilst I've been at uni. Most of mine are through LSE because, as you say, like the flexibility of having an employer that works around your uni schedule is so important. Certainly look into a university because they do tend to pay a bit better. I know LSE pay London living wage, not the minimum wage, but jobs aren't necessarily available in all different cities. So that is one benefit of living in London.
That's so true.
You're always going to be able to get a job, I think, if you want to. You can make it work around your uni schedule to try and give you a bit more disposable income. The next category we're going to talk about is food. You can live at uni, you can travel to uni, but you've also got to eat whilst you're at uni. So how much do you spend roughly? We've had to look this up, haven't we?
We did actually check this. So I buy in bulk, which I would advise doing. But on average, I spent about £20 to £30 a week on food shopping. Go get your food shopping like somewhere clever, like Lidl, your Lidls, your Aldis, even Tesco maybe. Like if you haven't got Waitrose money, don't go to Waitrose.
Yeah. These little costs do add up. And like we were saying, if you spend £10 extra on food a week, say going to Waitrose and getting more expensive products, that's nearly £500 a year that you could be saving.
Exactly.
So like these little costs do really add up. And do you just eat food that you've bought?
No, that's exposing you here. Exposed. No. Actually, sometimes it's not the food shopping that's a big expense, but actually the McDonald's nuggets. It's just £5. Yeah, it seems like it's just £5, but then it's adding up, like you said. Actually, I would recommend, like, if you are in the position to meal prep or bring in sandwiches or pasta to uni in like a container, that will save you so much money. On takeout a week and like McDonald's, I probably spend £15 to £20.
No. I obviously live at home, so like there are things in the fridge. In terms of quantifying it, I probably use about £10 worth of food that's already in the fridge, and then I probably spend about £10 to £15, so it's quite similar to yours. Yes, the supermarkets are slightly more expensive here, but you won't really notice it. Like food is expensive everywhere at the moment anyway.
Cost of living crisis.
Yeah. The next one is a category that I don't think many people think about and isn't considered when students are like maybe budgeting for going to uni, and that is societies. Because they do cost money. Like I thought societies were free. I thought after doing clubs at school, I was like, oh, it'll be free. No. I turned up to a society, they were like, yeah, if you bought your membership. I looked online, £60 they wanted. I was like, no, bye-bye, see you later.
Especially for the sports ones.
Sports are very expensive. But then I think you get a lot back. Like you get quite a lot for your money.
And the resources.
Yeah, you get the training, you get coaches, you get the facilities. Because like London unis, I don't know about all of them, but I know Imperial have quite good facilities. But like LSE doesn't have that many facilities. Like if you're doing table tennis or basketball, they've got stuff, but like I swam last year. LSE does not have a swimming pool, so then we had to pay obviously to use that swimming pool. Maybe societies are more expensive in London. I hadn't even thought that.
Potentially.
Like sports ones,
yeah, potentially. If you go to like Loughborough, which has amazing like sports facilities, then I imagine it's a lot cheaper.
And I reckon the uni put more money into it. Like LSE is not a sporty uni.
Which I'm sure most people have figured out. I don't do sports at all, so that's quite
your society costs are quite low then, no?
Yeah, so I go to the Afro-Caribbean Society the most. I also go to Government Society, so they're the only two that I actually pay membership for.
How much do they cost?
It's literally like £6 each,
That's
£6
really
to £8. But then like, don't think, oh, I paid membership, I'm not going to have any other society expenses through the year, because when events do pop up, you do have to pay to go to those as well.
I have been part of Geography Society, and I think that's about £10 a year. Whereas you get your government,
you get it for free.
You get it for free.
Yeah, Government Society is free.
Yeah, clearly the actual department fund the society.
They do.
And then I was also part of swimming last year, and that was I think £67 for the whole year, which for a sports society is really quite reasonable. Like I know hockey was like £80 to £90. And then you've obviously got kits on top of that, so it's definitely something to think about. But one of my top tips for uni has always been join a sports society, even if just for the social. Also, like you do need to factor in society costs, and because you pay them as a one-off cost, like you were saying, the start of term and like the first few weeks are always more expensive because there's loads of events going on. You've got your society one-off costs that you just won't have throughout the rest of the year.
And you'll probably have, if you're in first year, you'll probably have your one-off costs as well of like buying a laptop and an iPad, so it seems way more expensive than it actually will be throughout the year.
The next category is going out, and I think we might sound like grandmas here when we say neither of us are really into clubbing. I did it a bit last year, but like, and it is expensive. I was talking to some friends at other unis like in the north of England, and they were like, yeah, it's about £3.
But ours are better though, I'm not gonna lie, ours are better.
Are they?
In London, and this is why I absolutely like advocate for London, you have like probably like 5 clubs on your doorstep, so there's one for like each vibe basically.
How much does a club ticket cost? Like how much did you pay?
Do you know what? It depends how early you get it. Because there's like different releases.
Right.
So if you get it like a month in advance, which not many people do, you can actually get your ticket for as cheap as £5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's then but then it's like when you're doing it like a couple of days before,
Yeah.
and you're like trying to get it off resellers or like the last release, that's when it can go up to £20.
£20 to go to a club. But in terms of the stuff we spend our money on, in terms of like going out for food and drink, how much would you say roughly you spend on that a week?
So I probably put my going out expenses to about £30 a week, but it varies. Some weeks I'll spend £0 because I'm just at home editing content or dying for my degree.
YouTuber, hey, yeah. I think going out will be one of your bigger expenses in London compared to somewhere else, because like if you're in a small city or a small town, like there's not going to be much going on apart from the student union stuff. Whereas here, like things are expensive, yes, but like there's just such a big range of choice. I think I spent £40, yeah, £30-40, because I'll often go out for a couple of meals. No, probably more like 30 a week on like going out, going for food and drink with my friends. But it's something I really enjoy, and I remember watching somebody else's video and they said, I don't go clubbing, but like I go out for meals a lot more than other people, but that's fine because it's actually what I want to do.
Exactly.
And I think that's important, like build a lifestyle you want and only fund the lifestyle you want. But the reason I know how much this all costs, and the reason we're a bit like iffy about certain things, is because I actually have a budgeting spreadsheet, and I know you do too from last year.
Mine needs to be updated.
But it needs updating. But yeah, I did a whole video on like budgeting at uni and stuff, like ages and ages ago, but I'm going to leave the link to the spreadsheet that I use down in the description box below. So if you're interested in that, go and click down there.
What is expensive in London is drinks. Oh
yes.
No.
Simmons Bar will be your best friend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If I'm ever going out for drinks, 2 cocktails for £10 all the time if you're a student.
Yeah, that's
at Simmons Bar or Spoons. Like Wetherspoons is more expensive in London.
Cheap. Oh, is it?
It is then, yeah, I mean, you're London based, right?
Yeah.
But like, if I go to Spoons like up in Leeds or something, it's cheaper.
Yeah, that's another point as well, actually. My judgment on how expensive London is as a student is probably a bit skewed because I'm also like, technically I'm from London.
Yeah.
So I've been living here a long time, so it's allowed me to adjust to like the university costs a lot easier. So if you're from London already, you're probably not going to find the adjustment that bad. I think my biggest tip on that point, if you're going out, try not to buy like drinks and stuff in the club, because it will actually scare you when you're seeing £10 for a drink that doesn't even taste like alcohol.
Yeah.
100% honest.
The next category we're going to talk about is laundry. So I got away with doing no laundry in halls for the first 2 years because I just used to take it all home to my mum on the train, because the train was quite reasonable for me.
Yeah. So I use circuit laundry, which is, I think, pretty much universal across all halls in London as well, to be fair. And for a wash it's like £2.40, so it's not that bad, but it does add up. And then also if you're going to dry, like if you haven't got a clothes rail, that's about £1.40 or £1.30. If you're doing that every week, it's about £5 a week on laundry.
So talking about taking our laundry home, how much does it cost you, because you're London based, to go home? Like surely it's just a tube fare, no?
Yeah, so my dad's side of the family lives in London, in South East, so that isn't that bad. So that's probably about £10 or so to get back home. But then I also have family in Leeds, which I go to like maybe a couple of times a year. That's when it gets expensive, is actually commuting back out of London. So for me to go to Leeds can be about £50 to £70.
Wow.
It depends at the time of year I'm booking it.
Yeah.
Like when I booked at Christmas, I was seeing tickets for £100, which is disgusting.
It's crazy.
Like, and the thing is with me as well, I get travel sick if I take the coach.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to take the train.
And it takes so long.
Like I said earlier, get a rail card, because the rail card applies to discounts within London, but also on the journey out of London.
Yeah, this is true.
So actually, I'm really glad that I got that this year, because I'll save a third off of my tickets when going back to Leeds.
I got a rail card with my student bank account, but you can also pay for them, and they're not that expensive at all. Like I have friends who live quite far from London, and they don't go home as often because getting like trains to and from London are more expensive because it is London. I don't know, if home is Leeds or home is Newcastle, like it's gonna be expensive. The next category is subscriptions.
Yeah.
So the expenses that come out regularly. Oh, she's got a list.
Yes.
Here we go. Go on then.
So I have a Spotify subscription. I'd recommend.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and you have it. So there's a £9.99 version. I think.
Which is for normal people.
Normal people.
For normal adults.
Yeah.
But there's a student one.
Yeah, there's a student one, which is what I do, which is £5.99. So then I have Amazon Prime. Again, there's a student deal with this. It's £3.99. which is
Really?
really cheap.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
I think I'm still on the 6-month free trial.
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't
that's
used it
good,
till
you
this
can do
year.
that as well.
Yeah.
I think the biggest expense is not really, well, I guess it is a subscription or like a contract. It's a phone bill. So I'm on the 13 Pro, so that means I'm paying £40 a month.
But you know what? If you're filming with your phone,
yeah,
you're using your phone, it is an investment. And actually, like my phone and my laptop, I would not be able to do uni with that.
Exactly.
So you're paying off your phone and then you've also got a phone bill.
Yeah, and then my phone bill is like £12 a month contract. So
I think mine's about the same, my phone bill.
Which is actually not bad.
Yeah. The only other expense that I think I have on subscription is my Pret subscription, which is the love of my life, so I will not give that up for anyone. I get my 5 cups of tea a day and I'm happy as anything. So I pay £25 a month and I get up to 5 drinks a day for, well, it's not for free because I pay £25 a month, but I get up to 5 drinks a day from Pret. If you're like me, you study well in coffee shops, or if you're commuting. Like,
it's such an aesthetic. I wish I was a coffee girl.
It is. I don't like coffee, but I still love my Pret subscription. I love my smoothies, I love my hot chocolate, and I love my cups of tea. So it is still worth it. I also use it as a place to meet my friends. Like, that's very much a social occasion for me, and it saves on like food and drink a lot of the time.
I just thought of one other subscription. It links to the clothes.
Next day delivery.
Yeah. I have next day delivery with Prissy Little thing.
Yeah.
That's only £10 a year though, and I actually think it's good.
If you use it as well.
Yeah. I think, like you were saying with Pret, depending on like the person that you are and how much you're going to use like these services, actually having a subscription saves you money throughout the year.
So another subscription I have is my triathlon club money. So I'm part of a triathlon club back at home and I pay £35 a month for that. That includes coaching, it includes like the pool and all that sort of thing. But again, like that's, like we were saying, it's something that I think is really important for my mental health. So I'm prepared to spend on it. Gym is something that I used to have a gym membership.
I had one last year.
Yeah, me too.
Which was...
How much did you pay?
So actually you can get student deals. So I got like the 9-month thing.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it might be in
which is good because you're not in London over summer a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think it was like £179 for 9 months, which is actually good.
How much does that work out? £20 a month.
Something?
It is £20 a month.
Which is really good.
Yeah, I had it for a month and I just got a student deal and that was £20 a month. Again, like if you're going to use it, if you're going to go to the classes, it's worth it. I also go to some of the classes at LSE, like the gym classes.
Oh, how are they?
They're really good. I love them and they're about £3 each. Yeah. So I probably spend £6 on those a week.
And this year I actually have a gym at my accommodation.
The nicer accommodations where you're paying more do have better facilities.
Yeah.
Also, I think sometimes it's really important to be like, yes, okay, this costs money, and yes, like I could save money here, but like if I permanently lived in a state where I was like saving every last penny that I could, I wouldn't be happy. For you, like buying clothes makes you happy. For me, getting my cups of tea each day makes me happy. It's like it's small things, but actually like we have these jobs so that we have a little bit more disposable income. So it's actually worthwhile using that.
A lot of the time my job is what pays for all like these little things.
Yes, for sure.
And actually like student loans and scholarships are what pay for the big things like rent and the tuition fees. So if you are looking to save at university, what my tip would be is actually to save first. So when you get your big chunks of money coming in, which is a big adjustment actually, having like, I don't know,
£2,000 land in your bank account.
It's a
like
lot.
Your student loan.
Put some away instantly and then you've already limited.
And then the last one, which is linked to your subscriptions, is clothes.
Yeah.
So I don't spend that much money on clothes. The only things that I tend to buy are like sports kit.
This is probably one of my biggest categories, if I'm just being honest. But I think monthly, we're probably looking at like £100 a month or something.
Yeah.
But another thing that I'm doing this year now, which will link into having another stream of income, is I'm reselling my old clothes on Depop and Vinted, which is really good.
Well, with that, I think I might have just exposed your entire bank account. But thank you so much for being in a video with me. If you guys have never seen Alicia's face before, she is a fantastic LSE YouTuber. Go and check out her videos on her channel and obviously subscribe to her channel as well as mine. Also, of course, this was a collab, so we have done some videos over on Alicia's channel talking about all the things we love and we hate about LSE, so we have been spilling the tea over there. Yeah. So definitely go and check those out. I'll leave them linked in the description box down below. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And I will see you next time with a new video. Bye!